Hey everyone. Let's see. Okay, I got my mic on today. That's cool. I got a little bit of a delay, so that's weird. Okay, well anyways. So what are we doing today? Well, that's always a good question. So I am a little late today. Trying to figure out my network issues. I hope that I got them solved. It started nicely. Don't have any like drop frames or anything like that, so that's cool. Though me looking at the screen, I got like a couple second delay, so it's really weird to me. Normally I don't. So I'm not sure what that's all about. But today, I'm gonna try something. That kind of goes on to something that John over at Black Bear Forge did, and that is a hook made from a tong. But what I want is, this delay is really driving me nuts, sorry. Is it that worse on that? It's not as bad. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll just live with it. So he did one during his hook of the week. He did a single hook made from a tong that he was trying to do, I think, forge weld the reins on. Well, I kind of want to go in that kind of route, but going with doing a double hook. So let's give that a try. This is going to be really good practice for making tongs, because I don't have any tongs that are in a situation like tong blanks that I can use. So I gotta kind of have to make the tong myself. We'll see how my time goes. I might draw it out at the anvil. I might do it on the press. We'll see. So I have 2 half-inch square bars in the forge right now. Length doesn't matter. I will be cutting them off as I see fit. And we'll get those heated up, and we'll go and get this stuff made. Ooh. A little bit of rest on my anvil. So how's everyone doing today? Doing good? That's good. Is this camera aimed right? Oh, I don't think it is. Let's get that camera set up a little better. A little high right now. Maybe pull you a little closer. Let's adjust the colors a little bit. That looks terrible. And it's also got, the Hertz a little off right now. Make that a little better for you guys. The color's a little off, I think. But that will do. This is one of the downsides of how my shop is situated. For the most part, I have windows there and there, basically right where that camera is. So depending on how the light is outside, changes how everything looks in here. So it's kind of not that great. So like, there would be times where normally I would do that before actually starting up, but because I was trying to fix my network issues, I didn't get a chance today. So, like we normally start with tongs, I'm gonna grab about 1.5 inches here. Now this is just mild steel, so it's not gonna be that hard to forge out. I'm also using my 3-pound hammer on this. And I'm basically just working it to half the thickness. Unfortunately, these pieces have something on them, so I'm gonna open up my upstairs window just to air out a little bit. And we're gonna grab the second bar and do the same thing. And this is on the near side of the anvil, of course. Like I said, this is basically how you start almost every tong. Almost. So we're taking half the thickness this way, but we're keeping the thickness the same going this way. And I'm gonna oh, there we go. Good, good, good. So right now I'm just going to clean up this front here. I actually made this a little bit longer than I need to, but that's okay. So basically, we just started doing what we normally would with the nib. I'm actually gonna just work that down a little bit more. Clean it up a little bit. Now with this being mild steel, you can work it in a little bit more colder stages, as opposed to the spring steel I was using for my pickup tongs. Like I said, this is really good practice for your tong making. The blacksmith that I originally learned from, he actually does keep blanks for tongs in his shop, so if he ever needs a custom tong, he can just quickly grab his blanks and make the tong that he needs. It is something I don't do normally. A little bit has to do because I don't do a lot of custom work. So normally the tongs I have are already set up for most of my production stuff, well, all my production stuff, so it's not bad. But if I did do more custom work, I probably would have 1 or 2 sets of blanks all ready to go. So I'm cleaning my anvil as I go. It's just good practice to get in that habit. I'm heating these up a little bit longer than I need to. But anyways, so you're going to turn to the left. So what I mean by that, counterclockwise. You're going to find a good spot, shoulder, on my anvil. Unfortunately, my anvil corner is a little chewed up. As in, I don't have really nice corners. So I am kind of forced to work right at the top here, which I'm not too happy about, but and I'm going to work that down to half the thickness. Sorry, my one ear is not sealing right, my headphones. And it's quite loud. Okay. Oh, and I never say this, but the earbuds I'm listening to, or always have on, they are from a company called ISO Pro? No. ISO Sounds? Is it? That's gonna bother me now. I gotta look now. Sorry. ISO Tunes. Sorry, ISO Tunes. And the ones I have is the Pro version 2. I've had them for some years now, and they're actually pretty good. The only thing I will say with them is they have a little rubber piece that goes over the controls on this particular one, and that came off, so it is a little bit of pain to turn them on and off. I can't actually like skip songs right now unless I go to my phone. So, but sound-wise, they're really good. Or at least I think they're really good. So I'm just hitting out the boss a little bit more for hinge plate. And I am treating these, even though they're going to be hooks, I am treating these as I would as tongs. Like I said, it is good practice, so you might as well take the moment to practice when you can. It's a little quiet in chat today. Let's see if anyone's actually on any of them. I don't think I do. Users in chat? Nope, just me on Twitch. And I think just me on YouTube, so that's okay. That's okay. Okay, now back at the hinge plate, counterclockwise again. Far side of the anvil, we're going to take about 1 inch. We're doing half on, half off. Going in, cleaning up everything. Straighten it up as we go. We're already looking tong-like. So this is the exact same way I made my flat bit tongs way back in the day. These are the first pair of tongs I made. This was with a Blacksmith course. And I've had them for 17 years now. They have been adjusted a couple of times now, like readjusted. But this is the exact same way I made them. Didn't have as much in the knit, but pretty well. This whole setting the hinge plate like this. The only difference is when I was doing those, I was doing the hinge plate by being at 90 degrees. But I have learned since that if you do it at a 45 degree, it makes that little dimple here a lot better. Where are we at time-wise? Okay, not too bad. So, I'm thinking with this being a little bit lighter steel than the last two tongs, I'm gonna actually do some of the drawing out on the anvil and showing a little bit of how it could be a little bit easier, or at least make you feel like you're moving steel. So we're going back, and one of the ways to make drawing out easier is doing just half on, half off blows right at the edge of the anvil. Coming in, doing that again. And just slowly work your way down. Why this works pretty decently is that you're concentrating your blows on a smaller surface than if you're just on the flat of the anvil. And when it gets to this colder temperature, I'm going to actually just put it right back in the forge. No need to do more work than you need to. So I'm just going to straighten up some stuff first before I get heat on that. Another way, and this is going to be with my rounding hammer. This can be done with the ball peen flat hammer, and that's working it over the bit or the horn. So with the ball, I mean not ball peen, the rounding hammer, and again, this is just isolating material. Like when you hit, there's less material that you're moving underneath your hammer, which means you're going to get more out of each blow, in that small area than if you were hitting it like over the flat of the anvil. Whoop. So now I'm going to take some time, straighten that up a little bit. There we go. Also, having a really good heat while you're working this is going to help you a lot to move the steel. I don't need these reins as long as I would normally do reins. So at this point in time, I'm actually at a point where I'm going to get ready to cut these off. And so my anvil width is 4 inches. So if I go from here, slide that. So I'm about 6 inches of the reins already drawn out, and that's going to be plenty for making that hook. So I'm just going to finish off this one too. And I'm not going to worry about getting it perfectly how I would with tongs, because we will be working this into a hook. But I kind of want to look as close to what real tongs would. So, shovel checking the, yeah, we're about there on this one too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these off right where I stopped doing that drawing out. Again, with the hot cut, I'm not going to be cutting all the way through. I'm going to cut what I need, break it off. So you don't need super long. Like I said, this is about 6 inches. I'm going to flip it in and put what normally is the rein side in, I do want to work down that side a little bit more. So we'll get this one cut off as well. I'm just gonna figure out roughly so I get the same size on both. So again, not going all the way through with the hot cut. Here we go. Put that to the side. And then this guy will also go reins first into the forge. And we'll get my hot cut out of the way. actually going to try my box tongs today. So these guys I made last week on a live stream. So while I made them, I might as well use them. So I'm just going to draw this out a little bit more, making sure I don't ruin my my boss or hinge plate. I am going to be doing a taper at the end. Okay. Just tightening up my the bits from this tongs a little bit because it does not hold this perfectly. So I got a little bit of thickness in here that I want to take out still, so. Well, first, the toque needs to go. Get a little warm in here. Right now I'm trying to get a nice shallow taper all the way down. Almost where I want to be. Now I'm going to be tapering the tip a little bit more, because eventually I will be doing a scroll on it, and I just realized I didn't change the text of what I'm working on today. Let me get this heat up and done. Right now I'm just taking off the corners. And I'm just going to put that aside because I want to try and match both of them together as close as possible. And let me change the text. This one has a little bit of drawing out to do, and I think just taking this down to a nice taper will do it. Oh, a little bit more. Almost there. Do I have enough heat? Okay, now I'm going to take down the corners just to pretty it up a little bit. Now on the ends, I am not going to do the whole circle octagon thing. I kind of want to leave it at a rectangle. So now that I got these two pieces ready to make these look like a pair of tongs, I gotta punch a hole. So, whoop, wrong tongs. Going in with my V-bit 3/8 tongs, and I'm gonna put the nib side in. So we'll just wait for that to heat up a little bit. I'll have a little bit of coffee. Check the chats. I do see some people on YouTube. Hello. As for Twitch, I can't see it. But I do have the chats open for both. So feel free to ask any questions. So my whole punch is a little bit off right now, so just doing a little bit of straightening, not much. So I want these to look as much like tongs as they possibly can. I grabbed that a little bit wrong. Now, because these don't have to actually be fully functioning, I am not going to concern myself too much of getting a hole perfect, because these will not need to open and close when I'm done. with that said, I will try and line them up as best as possible. So I'm going almost all the way to with the punch, flipping the piece over. There'll be a dark side that happened because of the punch. I'm going to aim. I'm going to drop it on the floor first. Then I'm going to aim for the middle of it. And once I get going with this, I'll bring it over to my hole to finish it off. And, yep, that's it. Now I will eventually drift this a little bit bigger, depending on what material I use to make the fake rivet with. Come on, yeah. There we go. I'm going to quench my punch. Was in there for quite some time. And with this being mild steel, I'm going to quench this so I can hold it while I try and play with the other one. If I was using tool steel, I would not quench it right now. I would let it air cool until it's cold enough to handle, to line up the next hole. Put the hot one down, try and put this one over top, put my punch in, I'm gonna make a mark, put that aside until I get the other one punched. Again, we're going to come in here. On top of the mark that I just made. I'm going to go almost all the way down. Flip over. Give it a tap with the hammer just so I can see where that mark is. Aim for the center of it. Double check. And then finish it off. There we go. Now I will be drifting these, so while I have a little bit of heat, I might as well start drifting. Straighten up everything. Beautiful. So both are going to go in, and I'm going to drift them just ever so slightly. tighten up everything, make it look all nice and clean. Okay. I'm just going to put that aside for now. I'm going to do the same on the second piece. Straightening up stuff. And then this guy, I'm actually going to put in the tong, the rein side, because I'm going to start making that hook. Actually, I'm going to put both in. Let's put both in. And while I'm doing that, waiting for that to heat up, I'm going to actually grab a bolt. And the reason why I'm grabbing a bolt is I want to make a fake, well, I don't want to say fake, but like a kind of fake rivet sort of thing that will be tapered like a nail, so you can nail it into the wall, but make it a little decorative so it looks like it's actually a rivet. So I believe this is going to be a good size for it, as long as I drift the hole big enough. Might not be the best size. Let me grab a different one. I think this one's going to be a better one. Possibly. Huh. Okay. This one might work. And actually, it's an old square bolt. I have no idea where I got this from. I have no idea what this belongs to. But actually having it a nice square might look nice. Just double check that it's going to fit. Yeah, I think this is going to be it. So, that's the bolt I'm using. I have no idea what size that is, but I'm going to put that aside for now. And now I'm taking the time to decide what side is what. Because one will have to curl inwards, and the other one will have to curl outwards. I'm going to quench the tip just so I don't mangle it. Go over the horn and start doing my curl. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what visually pleasing to me, as I imagine this to be. Yeah. So I'm just going to put that aside because I will be trying to match the two of them as closely as possible. Just double checking how I have to bend this to make it work. And I hope I did that right. Not that I couldn't just straighten this out and rework it. What I probably should have done was quench the other one. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to quench the other one, just so I can handle it with my hands. Because I kind of like this one a little bit better than the other. Now I'm just seeing how it lines up. So this one, I need to curl a little bit more. Not much. I'm going to straighten that little tip out a little bit. Yeah, this one now looks good. This one, I need to kink that over a little bit, I think. Yeah. Oh, I should heat up that bolt too. So the first thing I'm going to do with the bolt is I'm actually going to taper the bottom end. And I already know this is probably going to be longer than I really need, but Now I could leave this as a bolt if I was mounting it on like a piece of wood or something. But I think I'm gonna spike it, so I'm gonna taper off the ends into a rectangle kind of shape, so I can whale it into a wall. So here I'm just gonna kick this out a little bit the other way, because right now it's going kind of inwards and I kind of want it to go a little bit more outwards. I think that will do it. Just doing a little bit of straightening on the backside. This one's going to be up against the wall, so I want to make as much this way straight as possible. I was trying to hold that on the anvil, but so, on the wall, it's going to look kind of something a little like that. I can't hold it yet because they're hot, but I'm liking what I see, I think. I just want to bring this in a little bit. Now the one that's on the top, I'm actually gonna heat it up again in this kind of area and knock it down so that will sit flush against the wall as much as possible. Almost do a step down. Put the 3-pounder away. I don't really need it that much anymore. And with the bolt, I'm just doing a square taper on it. I'm not really worried about the threads being still on here. Yes, you could risk doing a cold shut in here with the threads. I'm not really worried about that because, well, this is staying in my shop, but also I'm going to be leaving enough meat in this bolt that should not be an issue. If I was thinning this out a lot, then I might be more concerned. And in that case, I would just actually use a really long bolt where the threads don't come all the way up, and I would just cut off the threads. So now I'm going to flip it around. I want to do a little bit of straightening underneath that head before I go and do the decorative on the tip or on the top of it. Yeah, I like that. So, I'm going to quench these, just to cool them off a little bit. And this is just so, you know, after I'm done all the forging and all that, I can actually kind of put it together to show you guys. And I'm going to switch over to my flat bit tongs for the bolt because, well, I already know that my 3/8 won't be too good with that. My 3/8 V-bits. So I'm just doing some straightening up. And I'm going to first take the corners off of the square bolt. If I was using an octagon one, I would just leave it as an octagon for now. What I got here, because I don't have nice corners on my anvil yet, I have this tool, which is just a chunk of old forklift tine, actually. And I remember which way it goes. Oh, there we go. It just kind of sits in the hardy hole. It is a little loose, but not too bad. And this allows me to have a really sharp corner where I don't have that on my anvil. And what I'm doing is I'm just tucking that right up in there. And I'm just slowly trying to mushroom the top a little bit so it looks more rivet-like. Now, if you have a monkey tool, you could use that. I don't know if my monkey tool is this size. I should check, actually. Yeah, I'm wondering if that will fit in my monkey tool. Where is my monkey tool? I don't know where my monkey tool is right now, but that has a hole that I think would work as a bolster plate. So that's just a chunk of spring steel with a hole in it. And I think it will fit. Yeah. And at this point, I can just use it do the head and shape it like I would if this was like a real rivet. I'm actually going to get a ball peen hammer. Actually, where's my other one? Here we go. I'm going to get my little ball peen hammer into this. I kind of like it a little bit more with my rivets. I think it leaves a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So we got a little bit of a kink in the shaft now of the nail. So I'll just clean that up. Okay, so that's my fake rivet. There is my tong double hook wall mount spiky thing. Yeah. So obviously, if you wanted to, the nibs here. Where am I? Okay. The nibs here, you can also curl those out as well to make kind of a top for hook kind of thing. But I kind of like it as a 2 hook. Yeah. So now I'm gonna wire wheel this and put some boiled linseed oil on it before I mount it, because that's what I like to do. So that's the project. And actually, one of the lucky things is I made this bolt a little bit too wide on the corners, but that actually worked out really good on this because it was a little bit bigger than my hole that I drifted. So when I actually drove that spike into the back tong, it actually locked them in place. It's actually really hard to separate them. So yeah, there we go. That's the show. I hope I entertained you. So normally I'm doing these every weekday, 1:30 Eastern time. I'm building stuff, forging stuff, and doing whatever I need to do in my shop. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe, follow all that great stuff. If you do happen to have a Twitch account, I am on Twitch as well under my business name, Red Maple Forge. Go over there, follow me, please. Yeah, every little bit helps. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.